Most of what you heard about seed oils is either oversimplified or just wrong. Seed oils, corn oil, safflower oil, soybean oil. You've heard about their controversy. It's everywhere. Some say that they're harmful because they cause inflammation and should be avoided at all costs. Yet others say that the science shows that these oils are perfectly safe, and some clinical studies even show that they may have some health benefits. So what's really going on? Today, I'm going to tell you the truth about seed oils, where they come from, how they got a bad rap, and give you the real deal behind whether they are bad or okay for your health. Are seed oils good or are they bad? Do they really cause inflammation? And some people say we should go back to butter and saturated fats, but is that true? So before I talk about that, let's go back and define seed oils, right? So you might be surprised if I tell you that seed oil itself is not an official food category. It's not a scientific term. It's not a nutrition term. It's really an informal term that got coined and is used in the media and by the public, because actually some of these oils, vegetable oils, don't even come from seeds. And that's important to keep in mind. There's a populism about seed oils when people talk about them, but I can tell you that they're really referring to a group of products that come from vegetables. As I mentioned before, soybean, sunflower, safflower, corn, grapeseed, and canola oil, right? These oils all share something common. They contain unsaturated fats, right? Butter contains saturated fats. These contain unsaturated fats. And one of the unsaturated fats they contain is called linoleic acid. Now, you may not have heard about that, but you probably heard of omega fatty acids, and linoleic acid is a precursor to omega-6 fatty acid, all right? So you probably heard of these omega acids being good, omega-3s and omega-6s. So I want to talk to you a little bit about omega-6, which is derived from linoleic acid, which is found in seed oils, vegetable oils. First, omega-6 fats are essential ingredients. Our bodies can't make them, so you got to get them from food. What are omega-6 used for in the body? Well, they're used for maintaining cellular health. They're used for immune function. They're useful for metabolism. These are all really important. So omega-6s actually aren't by themselves bad, but they're actually necessary to help our cellular function. Now, there's a common myth that omega-6 fats cause inflammation. Again, an oversimplification, so therefore we don't want to have omega-6, therefore we don't want to have seed oils. You see how easy it is to string these points together and create a story that actually can sound scary. Well, omega-6 and inflammation, that link actually came from lab studies showing that linoleic acid, which is the precursor to omega-6s, actually can be converted in the body to arachidonic acid. Now, that's actually a natural substance in the body, which is an inflammatory chemical. So linoleic acid, omega-6s, can actually be converted in the body by the cells to arachidonic acid, and arachidonic acid is linked to inflammation. I know it sounds like a complicated chain reaction of events, but what I want you to remember is that what we see in the lab isn't necessarily what we see in people. In fact, when we look at human clinical studies, eating omega-6 fatty acids don't increase inflammation at all right? And in fact, some studies even show that when you eat omega-6s, it leads to lower levels of inflammatory markers like C-reactive protein, or CRP. So the idea of the theory that omega-6s, which are found in seed oils, would cause inflammation based on some lab studies doesn't pan out in the clinic, because people's bodies, real life is a lot more complicated than that, all right? And in fact, we're beginning to understand a little bit better why that is. Partly because the body can regulate how much inflammation and how much arachidonic acid it produces. So you're never gonna actually just take omega-6 and just turn it into a forest fire of inflammation. Eating omega-6 fats does not drive inflammation. Therefore, eating seed oils does not drive inflammation in people. What matters more is the balance between the omega-6s that you eat and the omega-3s. Now, omega-3s, you probably heard, you find them in seafood, right? Like oily fish. You can also find them in walnuts, flaxseed. Those are all plant-based factors. Omega-3s are known to lower inflammation, all right? And so the goal is not to eliminate your omega-6s, but the goal is to eat more omega-3s. And that will actually help your body maintain a healthy balance between omega-6s and omega-3s. So omega-3s are more anti-inflammatory. Omega-6s don't necessarily cause inflammation, and the body only allows a certain portion of it to actually create arachidonic acid, which is part of the inflammation cascade, but actually your body regulates that. So I'm going to repeat it one more time. Seed oils as a category do not cause inflammation when you consume them. Now, let's pause for a moment because I've just covered a lot of information. So I want to kind of break it down again for you really simply. Seed oils became really common because of agricultural and public health guidance. All right. The term itself isn't even scientific. And the fats that they contain, omega-6s, are actually nutrients that your body needs. So that's true. Why has the debate become so crazy and intense? The answer has less to do with the oils themselves and much more to do with how seed oils are used in the real world. When you get them out in the kitchen, when you put them into restaurants, when you give them to the factories that put into ultra-processed foods, and that's where things become really practical. So let's go dive into that now. When is it that seed oils can become harmful? So here's what you need to know. Omega-6 fats found in seed oils are relatively unstable fats. And what that means is that when those oils, seed oils, are heated to very high temperatures, like you'd get for deep fry, they can oxidize because they're unstable, they change chemically. Another way that omega-6s can change chemically is if they are reheated and used over and over and over again. Now, where does that happen? In a restaurant that fries a lot of food, they don't throw their oil away after frying one batch. They use it again and again. And on top of that, they might actually save it and use it day after day. Now, what happens is that repeated use, that super high temperature cooking, it produces chemicals in the oil called aldehydes. And aldehydes actually are toxins that can damage cells and tissues. And especially when they're very high levels and actually when there's repeated exposure to them, right? Now, one of the other things that aldehydes do is they damage blood vessels. They also damage mitochondria. These are the power plants of your cell. And aldehydes can also damage or impact your metabolic health. All right, that's not what you want. You don't want to actually have damaged blood vessel circulation. You don't want to have damaged mitochondria. It takes away your energy. And you don't want to actually have damaged metabolism, which sets you up for all kinds of disease. So this is the situation. Heating at really high temperatures, reusing it over and over again, can actually turn a pretty neutral cooking fat like seed oils into something that could be more harmful. The other thing you need to know is how you store seed oils can actually make a difference too. For example, when you expose seed oils to a lot of light, or when you expose them to a lot of oxygen or heat over time, guess what? The oils degrade. And when they degrade, that can generate toxins as well. All right. So when people experience negative effects from eating fried or ultra-processed foods containing seed oils, it may not be the oil in and of itself, but how that oil was stored, handled, the conditions it's exposed to. Think about this. Something with seed oil that's designed with preservatives to be shelf stable for months or maybe even years. How long is that oil hanging out, exposed to oxygen, and over time, maybe light, and then degrading? Now, do you understand a little bit more about how something that's neutral for your health, maybe even a little beneficial, how fragile it can be with the conditions that it's heated, reused, or exposed in some ways to conditions that can actually change what's in that oil. All right, what does all this mean for you? Well, I'll give you some practical perspectives on this. First of all, quality matters. If you're going to use fresh oils that are properly stored, that's very different from degraded, old, and reused oil. So don't reuse any seed oils. Second, the context of the oil matters, right? So based on all the clinical studies, seed oils are not really harmful for human health. They don't cause inflammation. They don't cause the markers to go up. They may not be as beneficial as other oils like extra virgin olive oil for your health, but they're actually fine to use when you handle the oil and store the oil properly. Now, I mentioned extra virgin olive oil because, look, we're talking about the controversy of seed oils. And as I mentioned to you, there's a lot of complexity behind the backstory and when they actually can become harmful for you. But there's no controversy about the healthiest fat you can actually cook with or consume, and that's extra virgin olive oil. So I do want to actually tell you what you can very safely use no matter what. Now, extra virgin olive oil is beneficial. It's got some monounsaturated fatty acids. It's got a few polyunsaturated, but even more importantly, it is loaded with potent polyphenols, okay, plant-based polyphenols from the olive that supports heart health, brain health, immune function, and your gut microbiome. So these polyphenols are like hydroxytyrosol, oleocanthal. You can look them up. They're actually what makes the peppery flavor of olive oil when you actually have really good extra virgin olive oil. Now, what about saturated fats? Again, the context it makes a difference. As I mentioned to you, whole yogurt is beneficial for your health. Butter, neutral. Okay, when you use it in moderation, don't eat a lot of it. But saturated fats and processed meats, that you should really, really limit. That cut down or cut out. So it's not just about the fat, it's about the whole food, it's about the context in which you actually have it, and what else is actually coming along with the fat itself, the oil itself. Okay, here's the big picture. As I've mentioned many times before, healthy food, nutrition, food as medicine is never about one ingredient. It's really about dietary patterns, right? So this is why you hear Mediterranean diet pattern is actually healthy, or the Asian dietary pattern can be healthy, the traditional ones. A diet that's rich in whole foods, that contains fruits and vegetables, nuts and legumes, whole grains, healthy oils, has a far greater impact on health than focusing on just a single oil. So after all this, let's kind of come to a conclusion that we can all agree on. Are seed oils harmful? No. Seed oils as a category by themselves are not automatically harmful for human health. But like any food, their impact depends on how they're used, how they're processed, and how you fit them into your overall diet and with what they're actually consumed. So once you understand that, the confusion goes away. And hopefully this video helps to clear things up for you on the seed oil debate, because now you know the truth. Now you know something about the evidence that's out there. If you found this helpful and you want to better understand how food affects your body and how your body responds to what you put inside it, subscribe to my channel. This is where I share how food as medicine can support your body's natural health defenses and help you make better choices for long-term health. And if this is a topic you'd like me to explore, just let me know in the comments. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Dr. Lee out. Hey, if you like that video, then you're gonna love this one. Check it out.